Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Saturday the 25th of June 2022. In today's Millwall news, we've got more on the new signing Zian Flemming. We'll start off this from londonnewsonline.co.uk. The lowdown on new Millwall signing Zian Flemming. Lions break their transfer fee for Dutch attacker. Zian Flemming has completed his move to Millwall from Fortuna Sittard. The 23-year-old Amsterdam attacker was confirmed as the Lions' first piece of incoming transfer business this summer at 9 AM today. So what do we know about Flemming? It's a record fee for the Lions. Millwall's deal for Flemming is a £1.7 million deal, making it a number club record. That trumps the £1.5 million paid for Ryan Leonard, who initially joined the South London club on loan in August 2018 before the transfer became permanent in January. Mill's biggest transfer outlay, amazingly, had remained Paul Gollard's £800,000 switch in 1989 until Leonard and Tom Bradshaw both made permanent moves at the start of 2019 for seven-figure sums. So yeah, what was that, 30 years? That lasted for 30 years. Iron Lion Zion. Millwall have a policy of not announcing contract lengths, but Dutch media reports claim that Flemming has signed a 3-year contract. They went early with it being a done deal yesterday, even though Flemming still had to complete his medical and other paperwork had yet to be signed off. So they didn't want anything to scupper the deal. Luckily, he passed his medical, but they got the deal signed anyway. So long-term target. The Lions have had Flemming on their list of targets for 18 months and pushed for a deal last season, only for Fortuna Sittard to not be keen to part with him in January, as they were still struggling to avoid relegation in the Eredivisie. He scored 27 goals in 63 appearances for them and got 11 assists. So, do we thank Harvey Bustle for this? Was he one of Harvey Bustle's picks? Do we say thank you to him? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. What's his background? Started off in Ajax's academy, set up and played for their under 19 and under 21 teams. Signed for PEC Zwolle in July 2018 and netted 6 times in 32 matches. 4 of those coming in one match. A 5-2 win over De Graafschap, scoring 13 goals to finish top scorer for NEC Nijmegen. I don't know. During a season-long loan in the 2019-20 season, Flemming signed a 4-year contract with Fortuna in August 2020. Reaction to the deal: Zian Flemming. It's a big move for me in my career to join Millwall, move to England, the home of football. Ah, nice. It's coming home. He's coming home. The first thing you do when a club shows interest is to find out a little bit more about them. Everyone knows about Millwall and how passionate the fans are. And to start with a home game is perfect. If we win, of course. A main aspect of why I chose to join Millwall was the interest shown by Gary Rowett. They wanted to bring me in last summer and also last winter, but neither time worked out. However, he came again this summer, showing that they really wanted me. It's a nice place for me to have the chance to show myself in England and outside of the Netherlands. And Gary said, Zian is a player who we've been tracking for a couple of years, and I wanted to sign him in the last window. He's got so much quality. I'm really excited about this signing. He's young, hungry, and has scored goals over in Holland, all types of goals as well. I think what that's the exciting bit for me, something a bit different for us. So we're looking forward to him coming to Millwall, seeing if he can help us towards the next level. So we have the reaction. This was announced officially by the club this morning. They got the pictures there. Obviously, they took them yesterday, I believe. Zian Flemming wants to score goals for Millwall Football Club and is thankful to carry out his pursuit of the 23-year-old. The attacking midfielder put pen to paper on a long-term contract on Friday, so that he signed the contract on Friday and they did all this finishing touches on Saturday. Joining the lines from Eredivisie club Fortuna Sittard for an undisclosed fee. Flemming becomes the manager's first signing in the summer transfer window, and the Dutchman spoke to millwallfc.co.uk on the move. And I think the quote that we have is one that we just read on South London Press. They quoted this quote, but there is a bit more. So Flemming can operate across the attack for the Lions, but explain his preference. I prefer to play as an attacking midfielder. I'm really eager to arrive late in the box and to get on the end of crosses. Do we have anyone who can make a cross? Malone? Mason Bennett, maybe? I don't know. Making runs in, so we need to get someone who can make crosses then. That needs to be the next signing. Making runs in behind the defence as well. I'm good with my right foot, my left foot, and with my head. Plus, I can also score goals from outside the box. I'm mainly talking about scoring, but this is the thing I'm focused on. My main focus every time is getting goals, and I believe I can do this. And then, of course, there's the obligatory recast video. That's wobbling a bit there. I don't know what's going on there. But you can go to the recast app or website and pay your 15 or 20 credits to watch it, if you so desire. We are still waiting for the Millwall TV to launch. They've been putting some videos up on the website, but in terms of actual subscriptions, they're not available yet. So we do wonder what that's going to be like. So moving on now to Gary. Obviously, we've read the quotes from the South London Press from Gary. Is there anything more that has been said? When speaking about what attributes Flemming can bring to the squad, Rowett explained the Dutchman's versatility and keen eye for goal. We've tried to increase our goal tally as we've lost some players who added to it last season. Zian can play as a 10, and he can play in the front two positions slightly wider or narrower. He's a bit of a runner as well, so whilst he's got technical abilities, he will also fit into the speed and physicality of the Championship, which is what you need when bringing in a player from a different country. He's coming into a new environment and a new league, so we will need to give him some time to bed in. We'll give him the best possible chance to do that, but getting him in this early in pre-season is crucial. I think it's really exciting signing for us. We beat off competition for quite a few clubs to sign him in the Championship also, so he's had some interest. Making our first signing of the summer is really important, but we also need to follow that up with more signings quickly. But it's a good start. I'm excited to see him play and make a good start to his Millwall career. Indeed, and probably the first opportunity you're going to have to see him play is at Dartford. That game on the 12th of July in, what is that, roughly 2 weeks time, just over 2 weeks time. I think is it 10 quid a ticket, 12 quid a ticket. Might want to think about getting the tickets before that if you're interested in that, because it might be something that a lot of people are more interested in now that we've actually signed a decent player, and they can go down and say they saw him for the first time in a Millwall shirt. And I wonder what he's going to do against Dartford. But if he plays and he doesn't score like an hat-trick, I mean, people are going to be on his back straight away. But it's Dartford, it doesn't really matter, does it? We play them every year, more or less. It's the Stoke game that matters, to be honest with you. So the other day when the fixtures came out, I told you what I thought were the difficult months. We got a really bad opening month, which is really tough. But as usual, the website experimental361.com has put out what they call a fixture difficulty matrix. And here we go. So this is interesting, but there's one flaw with it. Now, they decide which is a difficult fixture by ranking the teams in order. And the way they rank the teams in order is by aggregating all of the bookmakers' odds. So this table here is what the odds that the bookmakers say the table will be at the end of season in May 2023. So the bookmakers have Birmingham, Reading and Rotherham getting relegated. They have Norwich as champions. Because why not? Because Norwich are a yo-yo club, so apparently they're going to get promoted straight away. They have Watford going straight back up as well, even though I told you in a video like a couple of weeks ago, the numbers don't support them. The concept of when teams get relegated from the Premier League, they go straight back up. That's rarely happens over the 30 so years. It's not true. It just isn't true. It's like 11% of the teams that get relegated go straight back up the next season. 11%. So I think, actually, I probably reckon Watford more than Norwich. There's some mumblings in Norwich with the fans. They're not happy with Delia. They think they should be more than a yo-yo club. They want to be staying in the Premier League, but be careful what you wish for. Because would you want to be a yo-yo club between the Championship and the Premier League, or do you want to be in League One, League Two, and permanently stuck there, not doing anything? So be careful what you wish for, especially if you're trying to force the owners out, because there are a lot of dodgy owners around who can come in. I'm not talking about dodgy as in Saudi Arabians with money, because it's just political that about what they're doing, but I'm talking about criminally dodgy. So you want to watch out with that, Norwich fans. So, but this here, the ratings here is what the bookmakers think the table will look like. So that's a pretty strong top 6, top 7, probably. Stoke finished 8th. I'm not too sure about that. They're still massive rebuilding there, and they haven't really signed anyone. So they're trying to get big earners out like Benicofobia. That deal fell through. So as you can see, if you've been looking at it while I've been waffling on, I have Millwall to finish 15th, which I think is a bit harsh, but we don't have any players, do we? So we probably need at least 3 more players, depending on the quality of Alex Mitchell, Isaac Loffey, and Hayden Muller. Can these players do anything? Can they do enough to come off the bench and change a game with effort and skill? We don't know. I'd Gary out. I'd probably say no, because they're unproven. So, but if you don't play them, then how are they going to get proven? But he wants to win now. He wants to improve the team now, which is why we're signing Zian Flemming, which is absolute quality impact signing. So we probably are going to try and sign some more players. Someone who can cross the ball, maybe a more attacking right-sided player, maybe back up for Scott Malone, because he seems to be at that age now. He's struggling with the odd knock and injury. It's a bit attritional to play so many games. George Saville apparently has a knee injury that requires injections for him to be able to play constantly. So we might have to sign a midfielder as well. So it's all still in flux. But as this guy says, if we go up to the top, if you haven't seen this before, I'll just read you through this. As usual, I've taken the newly released fixtures for the Premier League and EFL and combined them with an aggregation of leading bookmakers' odds to visualise where each club's tough and easy games appear to be next season. Each row in the matrix below lists the club's league matches in chronological order, colour-coded based on how difficult they appear to be, and the clubs themselves are sorted in number by where the odds imply they'll finish in the table. I've coloured the strongest looking clubs based purely on odds in red, and the weakest looking in blue, but you can use the numbers down the side to identify which fixtures are which. PA's new, blah blah blah. The plan is to rerun these nearer the start of the season, assuming the odds will move a fair bit in response to transfers and pre-season friendlies. So he's going to do it again when the odds change and when players have actually signed, clubs have actually signed some players. But this is the early version 1.0, and Millwall 15th, and you can see, so where the month goes, where there's a lot of red, that is a bad month for us. If you scroll over, if you look on the right hand side, we are the team that ends the last game with a grey 12. The 12 in black in a grey box, that's Millwall, and you can follow that back. So our April is absolute easy. Easy. We play Preston, we play Birmingham, we play Wigan, we play Blackpool. That is, on paper, very easy finish to the season. If we do need to garner up those points to push us wherever we are, if we're trying to get out of the relegation places, or if we're trying to get into the playoffs, or if we're trying to get into the top 2. If you are super optimistic, think about that. But that first month, August, playing the team in 4th, Sheffield United, and team in 1st, Norwich, and then the team in 6th, Burnley. So like I said in the other game, that first opening month is a killer. September eases off a bit. Quite a few mid-table teams, and the team in 20, they reckon, finished 20th, Blackpool. But again in October, the team in 5th, Middlesbrough, the team in 2nd and 3rd, Watford and West Brom. That October will be another killer. So by November, it gets easier, and then there's the break in November. That's why there's only 3 games in November. We go on a break for the stupid World Cup in Qatar. But where we are at that break, if we're not doing too bad, that is, I reckon if we're top 10 by then, we got something going on, because we got some tough games there, and we know how Gary Ant plays. We know he likes to defend. We likes to keep it tough. So we're putting in a few draws there. Hopefully it's the draws against the harder games, and not losses. And if we can win some of these easier games, there's not too many. There's a 23. This is at Reading, and then we play Blackpool. We've got Rotherham there, and we've got Bristol City. So in those easier games, if we can get a few wins in them, and maybe draw the tougher games and not lose too many, if we're in the top 10 by the end of November, or by the beginning of November, if we're in the top 10, could be a good season. We could be close to the relegation places. Don't panic if we are, because we've had a really tough start. We've had a really, really tough start. So don't panic if we are. Okay? Because it's going to get easier over November and December. February's pretty easy. March is pretty easy. And like I said, April, pretty easy. It's just those August and October is real killer for Millwall, which is what I said the other day. So yeah, it visualizes what I said the other day just by looking at it. But another thing, just the way that the odds are. Looking at that, how they think the bookmakers think the table's going to finish. I mean, I know they don't lose a lot of money, the bookmakers, but they always make money off the punters, because there's always a mug punter everywhere you go. But that seems a bit too simplistic to me. I can't see that being anywhere near the final table. Now, are we gonna have some financial fair play shenanigans this season? We had it last season. Could it happen again? Who knows? Who knows? Cardiff, with their 7 signings of bang average players, they're gonna finish above us? I doubt that. I doubt it. I mean, if you were going to be realistic right now, where would you say Millwall would finish with the squad that we have right now? You would say probably top 12, maybe 12th. We finished 9th last season. You think we would drop off, but not 6 places. We're probably 12th or 13th. But Luton dropping down that far, yeah, I can believe that. They've lost quite a few players. I think they're going to struggle. Reading down there, yeah. Bristol City, I thought they were going to tank last season. For some reason they didn't. I think they were G'd up because of the mess down there with Derby and the other teams with the points deduction. So I think that kind of buoyed them up. Stoke getting 8th. I can't see Stoke getting 8th. Middlesbrough getting 5th. I can see that. They've made some pretty decent signings. They've got a decent manager now. They've cut a lot of dead wood out. Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, fixture difficulty matrix. Now you got to play the teams when throughout the season, home and away. So it doesn't really matter where you play them. Or maybe not. But that is a pretty tough start for Millwall. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.